today we're gonna make an Italian meatball soup. This is our family's new favorite soup recipe. I kind of came up with it on a whim because I was out of groceries and all I had was some beef and sausage in the freezer and some peppers and onions. So this became, my boys like to call it pizza soup, but it's an Italian meatball creamy soup. So good, so cozy for the fall season, winter season. Hope you guys love it. To our bowl, we're gonna add a pound of ground beef plus 1 pound of mild sausage. You could use Italian sausage, whatever kind of sausage you like. Do half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, 1 egg. I'm gonna do a tablespoon of my Italian seasoning, a teaspoon or a little more of red pepper flakes, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, some salt, about a half a teaspoon, and some freshly cracked pepper. Just gonna get in there with your hands, mix this all up. These are gonna be delicious Italian meatballs. You could add breadcrumbs if you like, but I'm keeping it gluten-free for my husband. This is one of our family's new favorite recipes. I actually came up with it because I hadn't gone to the grocery store and the only things I had in the fridge were some sausage and some beef, well actually in the freezer, and then I found some peppers and onions, and so that's basically the base of this soup. And of course we always have pasta in the pantry. Everybody's got pasta in their pantry, so you could use a gluten-free pasta or a regular pasta, whatever kind of pasta you prefer. Just gonna add some oil to the pan just so those meatballs don't stick. All right, we're gonna start shaping our meatballs. We're just gonna brown these until they're brown on all sides. We're not gonna fully cook them because we're gonna finish fully cooking them in the soup later on. But for now, we're just gonna get these nice and browned and develop that nice flavor. About the size of a little golf ball is what I like to do, but you do your preference. Okay, we're going to gently start flipping these over. See how they're getting like a nice brown to them. Okay, we're just going to flip these over. Let them cook on the other side for a bit. These are about ready, so I'm going to go ahead and put them on my plate and put this to the side for later. So these are not fully cooked yet, but we are going to put them back in the soup and they are going to finish cooking so we can have our delicious meatball soup. Went ahead and poured a little bit of that grease off so it's not too greasy, but I've got a chopped onion and a chopped bell pepper here. I'm also going to add a jalapeno because we like spice, but you can omit that if you like. Those beautiful colors. Saute this so we get that nice flavor going. We're also going to add several cloves of minced garlic. use my garlic crust for this. Get all those pieces of stuck on meat at the bottom. That's where all the flavor is. Soup is gonna have such a good flavor. Also gonna add in 1 package of mushrooms that I just washed and sliced up. Mushrooms are such a good Italian pizza kind of thing. We love mushrooms. We're also gonna add a little bit more of our Italian seasoning. Maybe about a tablespoon or so. Just kind of eyeball it. Just kind of let that saute, let those flavors develop for a couple of minutes. Gonna do a little bit more salt. And we're going to add our bone broth, and we have some homemade bone broth here, but you can totally use box broth. And I actually ran out of homemade broth, so I used some reconstituted bone broth. This is stuff that we love to use sometimes if I run out of bone broth, and it's the perfect supplements bone broth powder, and it's all free range, and you can just add water to it. So I did some of that. I did some homemade broth, but you can use whatever broth you like. We're also gonna add in a can of crushed tomatoes. I love the crushed tomatoes. They have a great texture. Definitely gonna add our Italian marinara flavor to this. Then we're also gonna add a cup of dry pasta. You honestly only need a cup for this recipe because there's so much else going on in here. We're gonna let this simmer and let this pasta cook for a little bit. Then we're gonna add our meatballs back and let those cook in there for about 5 minutes to get those fully cooked. Okay, our pasta's been boiling for a few minutes. We're gonna add back in our meatballs and let these finish cooking in the soup. Those so yummy. Just give that a little stir. These cook for about 5 more minutes and then it'll all be done. We'll add the finishing touches. Okay, our pasta and our meatballs are fully cooked. We're just gonna turn the heat down to low. We're gonna add our finishing touches. So now we're gonna add about a cup of half and half or cream to the soup. It's gonna give it a really nice color and a creamy flavor. Also gonna add, this is completely optional, but I'm gonna do a couple of handfuls of spinach. Adds a beautiful color, some extra veggies. It'll only take a minute for this to wilt down. And we are ready to serve. Okay, ready to serve this up. This looks delicious. Mushrooms, the meatballs. I'm going to also add some grated Parmesan to the bowl. And a little sprinkle of red pepper. Okay, it's time to try this. I'm so excited. Get a little bite of that meatball. Some of those veggies. So good. Pizza, spaghetti, all the best flavors. Everybody in your family will love this. And it's different than the classic like chicken soup. It's just something different to make if you have ground beef or sausage. Such a good recipe to take somebody if they're sick. Highly recommend making this.